I get to do a lot of thinking when I'm on the road, and I try to catch the Christian rock stations. It just helps set the mood, calms me down, keeps me from getting road rage. But it got me thinking about my observations on religion. And these are just my observations, my opinions. I'm sure it's going to invoke a lot of controversy and differences of opinions, and that's okay. We all have our own opinions, and that's what makes us unique. I was also listening to another song from the band Rush, where the lyrics are something to the effect of, if you decide not to choose, you still have made a choice. I butchered that up. But we all make our own choices and decisions, and even not making a choice or decision is in and of itself a choice. But I choose to believe, based on observations of my own personal life circumstances and watching or observing other people and how they behave. And a few points I have on religion are these. I don't consider myself, quote unquote, a devout Christian. I do believe in Jesus Christ. I do believe in the power of prayer. I do believe that Jesus Christ, or whatever you call him, a rose is a rose, a rose by any other name is still a rose. People call Jesus all different things. People may even refer to Jesus by different names. I don't know. Obviously I didn't live back in the days of Jesus. Anyway, so I believe in the modern connotation of Jesus Christ, the Son of God, who was sent down to die for our sins. And that's about where a lot of the similarities end between me and a lot of other Christians, and that's okay. That's okay. I respect all different points of views on different religions, and even if you're not a Christian, that's okay. I'm good with that. I'm just expressing what I believe. Now, the observations I've seen, first of all, are between Christians and atheists. Now, let's look at the motivations of a Christian. Why do some Christians, me too sometimes, why do Christians feel compelled to convert everybody to Christianity? Well, one, it's in the New Testament, and we'll get into that later. But Jesus Christ made what's called the Great Commission. And the Great Commission is, we who are believers in Jesus Christ should go out and make disciples of all the nations. That's the wording that's in the Bible.
Continue 6.1 miles.
So some people literally take that to be evangelize and try to convert as many people over to Christianity as possible. To me, I'm more towards the side that says, put the word out and let people decide, right? Choose what you want to believe. And if you choose not to believe, that's still your choice. That's a choice, your choice. So that's where I'm coming from. In the United States, you'd have to be living under a rock to not have heard about Jesus Christ and to not have heard about what Jesus Christ is about. If you want to know more,
miles.
there's
Left.
plenty of information for you to find more. So I don't feel compelled to go out and evangelize. I feel compelled to live my life as a believer and follow the teachings in that, treat people with love, and that's what boils down to it. Love thy neighbor, be good to people. It goes beyond just being a good person. So, looking at the motivations of Christians, why do they feel compelled to convert people? Well, one is because the person they believe in has commanded them to. And two, it's when you love someone, you want the best for them. You want to let them in on good deals, so to speak, right? So being a Christian is, to Christians, is the best deal ever. Everlasting life, peace and happiness, good things happen to you, for you. Even if bad things happen, and the ultimate bad thing happening that can happen to you is death, it's still the reward of being a Christian is going to heaven, right? So I'm putting this in very, very basic terms, boil it down. I'm sure there's more details. People smarter than me can expound on it, but in basic terms, Christians are commanded to spread the word, and they want to spread the good deals, so that's why they spread the good word. They don't want, basically, they don't want you to go to hell. So just looking at those two motivations, what can be bad about that, right? Now, granted, there are people who do things in the name of Christ, in the name of God, that aren't quote-unquote Christian-like, or just, they're just bad people who do bad things and blame it on God, or use God as an excuse on why they do bad things, or as a justification for doing bad things. I don't consider those people Christians. They act and do evil things in the name of Christ. I can act and do evil things in the name of whatever, but that doesn't make me, or I'm sure people who are associated with that group would say, I ain't with us. So
1 mile, keep left.
anybody can claim to be a part of any group. It's not against the law, last I checked. But they, just kind of like in the gun community, or the knife community, or prepping community, this community, that community, you're always going to have your bad eggs. So, yes, I know some people who claim to be Christians that are just not very nice people, and I don't consider themselves Christians because they're not living the life that Christ has laid out for Christians, or for his followers to live like. All right, got it? Good. There'll be a test at the end of the video, so remember that. Two motivations of Christians. Now, let's look at the atheists. Now, atheist, the definition of an atheist is a person who doesn't believe that there is a God or a Christ. Not necessarily Christ, just they don't believe there's a God. They don't believe there's a higher being. It's been associated with anti-Christianity or anti-Judaism, and I'm sure there are people in that group, but the pure essence of atheism is they don't believe in a religion. Okay, they don't believe in a higher power, they don't believe in a higher purpose. But let's look at the motivations of why atheists do what they do when they want to
Continue 15
battle
miles.
Christianity. When they behave anti-Christian or anti-religion, which doesn't make sense to me. Okay, even if I wasn't a Christian, it still doesn't make sense to me. And I wasn't a Christian for a long time, but I wasn't an atheist either. I guess you could call it agnostic. I wasn't sure. But atheists, not only do they not believe in a God or in a Christ, they don't want you to believe in a God or a Christ either. Dinesh D'Souza had a good kind of speech where it doesn't make sense that, why would atheists want to quiet or suppress any religion, whether it be Christianity, Judaism, Hinduism, whatever ism you want, if they don't believe in it. And he said, I don't believe in unicorns, but I'm not out there writing books about why unicorns don't exist. I just go about my business, not worrying about why, that unicorns don't exist. But atheists seem to be consumed by, not all atheists, but the most vocal atheists seem to be consumed with suppressing the spread of Christianity. Why is that? Unless they're afraid, to me, my opinion, unless they're afraid that Christians might be right, and they don't want to feel bad about themselves, so they just don't want to hear the message. I'll give you a case in point. My family from Vietnam were Buddhists, or something to that effect. From my recollection, that's the only way I can describe it. We lit incense. We had the Buddha dude statue there, and we prayed to somebody. I didn't quite really get into that. But now that I'm a Christian, I'm not out there saying, oh, hey, don't believe in that Buddhism stuff. Buddhism is bad. I'm not out there on anti-Buddhist websites getting information and sharing news, and I'm not going around with pickets saying, down with Buddhism, and I'm not with organizations that are, I don't even know that there are organizations out there trying to remove Buddha statues from public sight. You ever wonder, you don't hear anything about that, do you? You don't ever hear about, well, not in the United States anyway, you don't hear about groups trying to remove Buddha statues. Why is that? So, let me cut that off there. I've got more about religion and spiritualism that I want to talk about, and just kind of put my thoughts on video, just for my own sake. It's hard to know where you're going unless you know where you've started or where you're at now. So to wrap it up, the difference I see between a Christian and an atheist is Christians want you to have what they have. They want you to be happy. They want you to enjoy heaven. But atheists, on the other hand, if you look at the yin and yang of it, the motivations of atheism seem to be they don't want you to have. They don't even want Christians to have what they have. They want to quell that. They want to suppress that. And they don't want other people. It's not enough for atheists to not believe, but they have to stop the spread of it. Why? If it doesn't exist, why are you trying to stop it? So those are the questions that I have, and just the observations of the two main groups when it comes to religion. So if you got any comments, put them below. I welcome all comments, good, bad, flame away. Just share an opinion. Talk to you later.